Nice to meet you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for coming in.
Hello. Good morning. Morning. Hello, I'm Sue.
Tom Kirkham, strategy correspondent.
Hello.
Number
Hello.
Hi, Amy Taylor. I'm the identity.
Thank you, Amy.
Hi, Amy. Hello. Nice to meet you. I'm Sue. Thank you very much.
I'm the ID
Lovely, thank you. Okay guys, so the show's about to begin. We're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action.
Good evening. On Monday, we were given the news that Stand Up to Cancer will once again be gracing Channel 4 airways in the form of a telethon, specifically aiming for the 16-34-year-old demographic. Experts have recently attended an active briefing summit where, despite some initial concerns around Friday being the air date, known for being a difficult day for reaching our target demographic, clear objectives have been devised. Experts in their specific field have been directed to look at influencing factors that have revolutionised the market, such as the whirlwind of entertainment that is comic relief. This funny spin on serious matters has been extremely successful and popular. The consensus seems that this in turn leads to a sense of pride and coolness, as I believe the young generation say, that comes with being involved. Who would have thought Movember would make women want to one day grow a moustache? An interesting point I've devised from outcomes is that any policies would be extremely brave, and their methods of sparking interest and ensuring a third of members are proud and willing to share that they have dipped their hand into their own pockets. We're actually lucky enough to be joined today by our insight expert, Mr. Paul Baker. Paul, with the results of this active briefing summit in mind, could you give me a quick run through to how you've extrapolated the required insight?
Of course, Rich. So the key points about this audience is that they enjoy spending what money they do have. However, disillusionment with big business has meant that trust in big organisations is at an all-time low. What money they do have, they spend with friends and they spend on themselves. Channel 4 quite obviously understand their unique access to risky, cutting-edge audience. This 1634 they know extremely well, and they are leading thought leaders in the category. The category itself, though, is devoid of truly focused conversation. Red Nose Day is the ultimate in doing this for them. However, having to span across all audiences, they can't create that conversation with the 1634s that is truly needed. And this is what leads on to the decision making that they've got to do. The 1634s give when they know their friends are giving. They like to be part of something, they like to be part of their groups. So this leads us nicely on to the barriers that would really stop them doing this. They only therefore trust their friends and family, they don't trust his big business. The drivers, however, are that if you can engage them, they're massively social, they'll engage, shout and share everything that you say.
Thank you very much, Paul. We are now also joined live by our comms strategy expert, Tom Kirkham. Tom, how are you planning to use this excellent insight in terms of driving a comms strategy?
Hi Richard. Well, there is something you need to remember. Ever since we've been growing up, we've been told that cancer is incurable. This makes our audience a challenge to convince that this is otherwise. What reasons do they have to give us their money? Channel 4 have this unique relationship with this audience. They can make them believe that they can have a real important part. That is what they need to feel. Can they trust us? Yes, they can. This is the cause for them. We want to build this community, first with friends, to make sure that they know that their friends are sharing what they're doing. It brings it all together, but then to something more. We want to create a symbol in society. This is our unifying comms strategy. The communications as a whole will create a community that stands up to cancer by giving it the finger. Our platform works to flip the perception of both charity and cancer. It is simply be seriously funny.
Amy, you have been described as the Willy Wonka of your time. How have you managed to filter all these excellent elements into hard and physical ideas?
Well, Rich, we're going to start off with our engagement campaign. This is where we're going to use our tagline of seriously funny to engage our audience of 16 to 34s into a craze. our Movember, our red nose, our poppy. This is going to be Give the Finger to Cancer. We're going to get our 16 to 34-year-olds to paint their middle finger orange, the orange stand up for cancer, to engage in our community that we have created. Secondly, this is going to be thought through with our pop-up stores in popular shopping centres around the country. This will be what give our audience the chance to pay £1 to get their middle finger painted orange to join in with our praise. This will then be included in our fundraising packs, where we'll provide maps where our audience will be able to see where these stores will be located. And this orange nail will act as a ticket to our events that we will create. For example, comedy shows and gigs that will resonate with our audience. This will give them the chance to share and engage with our brand and along with each other and donate. Next is our awareness campaign, which will be based on a series of funny entertainment news stories, which is mainly based with our Seriously Funny strapline, where we will twist some stories and make them funny and engage with our audience with comical, it's what they want, it's what they enjoy. Be seriously funny, give cancer the finger.
Now Tom, if I can come back to you at this point, I must say I'm very impressed with all these innovations and massively impressive ideas flowing around here. But I can't extract from this how exactly the target audience are going to hear and, more importantly, engage with this message.
Well, Rich, I am glad you asked. Obviously, we're going to do this through our media platforms. I've got with me Amy and Jack.
Oh, bloody hell, bring your own guests on my show.
I'm sorry, you know what I'm like. You know what I'm like. And they will help me explain our media executions more thoroughly.
Okay, so first I'm going to talk through TV. Now, Stand Up for Cancer will support cancer research in raising awareness ready for the launch of the fundraising packs. So these fundraising packs, as I mentioned earlier, will have a map with points of where these nail painting salons will be, and people therefore then donate £1 to have their finger painted and display that seriously funny message of giving cancer the finger. Now C4 have a wealth of owned assets, and we would like to propose if we could use the relationship that Hollyoaks has with its audience, we would like to create a storyline in the actual programme where someone is actually contracted and is diagnosed with the illness cancer, and the rest of the cast then has their finger painted in support, reflecting the behaviours that we want our audience to have. Now, despite premium costs involved in using other commercial stations, we would also like to use trade deals available to raise further awareness with big spots, big 1634 hitting programmes on other commercial channels. Further creating awareness, we would like to use some press ideas. So we'd like to use 5 weeks of activity in the Sun and Star with interactive, engaging, seriously funny, creative. Now I've got some examples here I'd like to actually show you. So first of all, if I just hand these out, if you'd like to read the headline as it is. So if you read it as it is at the moment, it seems like quite a serious headline. Now I actually only have 2 pairs of glasses, so if you could just hand these round. If you whack these on.
TV folks.
Shall you use that? If you put those on for me. Now if you cover your right eye, you will actually see that it's not indeed a factory explosion in Wolverhampton, but a cheese factory explosion where there is debris everywhere. So debris. It was serious at first, but it's now funny. Another brilliant piece we can run is in the Metro. We'd like to propose a cover wrap of the Metro, which is disguised as a kind of an actual story, the front page, but it's actually a funny news story. So we use the Metro because it actually indexes very high for our 1634 audience. And also, through our insight, we know that this is an area where it's distributed that has high donation rates. If I could hand you over to our out-of-home expert, Amy here, so you can take you through some of those some of those ideas.
So we want our campaign Stand Up to Cancer, Seriously Funny, Give It a Finger, to be everywhere. We want this to be shown. We want our 16 to 34s to trust us and see that we're a big, massive charity, and they can trust us with their donations. So we're going to plant campaigns and creative everywhere that they will see, in massive audience enjoyment targeting through shopping centres and high footfall areas. We'll also include Bluetooth mobile activation, which will be driving our engagement for the 16 to 34s. We'll have pop-up nail stores, as previously mentioned, in shopping centres. And we will also create our events and comedy shows and gigs, as previously mentioned.
Just kind of adding on to that drive towards transmission date, we will also use radio. Now, radio is a fantastic medium in terms of the loyalty and trust the audience have with the presenters on the show and the show itself. Now, entertainment news index is very high for our 1634 audience, so we will have spots around that entertainment news slot, which will disguise as content seriously funny news stories. These will be read out by the actual presenter themselves and link in with the trust, so they will trust that the presenter themselves is supporting the cause, so they themselves feel like they're part of that community. I also want to support that cause. Capital Likes is another thing we'd like to utilise. Part of the show where presenters on Capital's radio show actually say what they like. So the audience can then, will again use that trusting element. They also would like that, a lot of like. So their presenter likes the show, they like the show. Let's support this seriously funny message and give cancer the finger.
So yes, so obviously, through all these elements, we are always building towards digital. The community will live online. We know that's where our audience will be. We know that they want to see their friends sharing what they're doing. So by using all the images that we've collated, the videos of the user-made content, we will house this all under the hashtag #GiveItTheFinger. Anything that they've made, Instagramming, you can see it now, they'll be doing it. They make a society. We bring it together, we use something called a thunderclap, which stores all this shared data, all this shared information, and we can push the trend in categorised bursts whenever we want to, directly to this audience. This will mean that we can drive this social builder. Obviously, this is exactly what we need to do. We need to build the symbol within society. This now has to be seen everywhere. If your friends are doing it, then why aren't you? If you're likely to do it, you're going to see it. If it doesn't live online anymore, it may as well not exist. Obviously though, we need to drive donations. So this is perfect with digital. We're going to partner up with iTunes, eBay, Amazon, ASOS. We're going to utilise their buying facilities, and anytime you make a purchase, you have the option, always optioning, the option to donate to charity. But we also know that our audience don't want to just give to charity. We want to make sure that there is trust involved. We want to make it transparent to them. So they also get to choose the location where it is distributed, be that nationally, locally, or in specific areas of the charity that is predefined with an optional list. They will be able to share that out to their friends, letting everyone know what they're doing and where they're doing it and how they're doing it.
So overall, we want Give It the Finger to be a symbol and a representation of Stand Up to Cancer and Channel 4. This will be resonate with our audience of 16 to 34s and will be used through all future campaigns.
If I can just jump in at this point, I feel a really strong element is the way you have described having specific geographic areas in terms of budget allocation. Can you possibly expand any more on this?
Richard, you know I'm a weatherman. Okay. As you may have seen, live studio audience, we have our map. Through our carefully derived research, Paul, what did we use again?
It was the Money for Good research.
Money for Good research. We have devised the areas that are most donatable across the country. These hotspots indicate that. Ignore the fact that there are a lot in the north. We can therefore upweight to these specific locations. If you'd like to see that research, of course, we can provide that to you. By utilising our TV, our radio, our print, our digital, we can upweight to make sure that we are where the money givers are.
So to sum up, the media addresses the importance of really engaging the audience to not only sit up and take notice, but act upon the campaign in terms of donations. And this is made compelling by generating this orange nail community you speak of, as you so eloquently put it, giving the finger to cancer, I believe. So just to summarise for our audience in the 30 seconds we have left, could you answer a couple of key points for me, please? How have you actually reached this 90% of the target demographic?
Oh, well, that's easy. We've already highlighted that wherever they are, we're going to be. They're not going to miss us.
Have 10% of the audience engaged with the content?
As we've already kind of developed there, we have highly engaging ad units, not only in digital, but in all our media. These together, of course, they're going to drive engagement.
Do you feel, though, that we will hit the 30% donation rate?
Richard, that's a trick question. With our large reach and our engagement, we feel very confident that is going to happen.
And I know a lot of people watch this show, but are 4 million people going to watch the telethon?
We're driving them to it with all of our media. I'm surprised you even had to ask. You've not been listening.
Thank you very much, guests. I've been Rich Garrett. Be seriously funny and give the finger to cancer.
And cut.